What is going on, pedestrians? I thought I'd give you a good little update on what not to do with your fig trees. I thought I was being smart, so I did something that was not so smart. At least now I know. So I would recommend you learn from my mistakes and don't do what I did. So right now you can see that these pots they're a couple feet, they're about 3 feet apart right now, 2 to 3 feet apart. What I initially did is I had these planted right next to each other in a row. So these emitters are every 12 inches, and I had one emitter over each fig. So I had these guys spaced every 12 inches. I also dug a nice little trench and placed the pots in the trench a little bit lower so that they could be cooler and had mulch up around the edges, because we get temperatures of about 115 degrees. That's dry heat. And so it doesn't tend to do very good for the figs. At least that's what my understanding was with that hot of temperature. And I'd have to water more and all that stuff. So I was trying to insulate them and be a smart person and a good gardener. But instead of being a good gardener, it turned into a shit show. And the reason why that is because in the fall, we had some good temperatures between like about 80 degrees or 85 degrees at the highest. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take these and separate them because they don't need the protection from the heat and the sun as much. And I'm gonna space them out so that they get more sunlight. Because this is the other problem with planting them so close to each other. This guy is the NV1. So NV1 grows really good, has these two little stems, comes all the way up. All the way up. This is taller than 6 feet. It's like 6.5 feet tall. NV1, one stem that's coming up. What I should have done is take and trim it right here so that spread out and make a good canopy. But because they were planted so close to each other, they were all fighting for space and coming up vertical. And look at this. That's hibiscus, dude. This is 7 feet tall also. Freaking hibiscus. Can't wait to have some of it. Fresh hibiscus, I mean, can you lose on? Anyways, I'm getting distracted. So here we have another variety. This pot really got shocked. Here's the other downside of planting them really close together, because when you remove them or separate them, this is the partridge eye. Look at the size of that. Dude, that trunk is huge. It's crazy huge. This is a good grower, partridge eye. I think I got that at ProFig, Fig Pro, whatever it's called. And then I have this one over here that's spread out, nice and big. It is over 7 feet tall, but you can see it was definitely shocked. And don't worry, I'm getting to it. I'm getting to the end of the story. So look at this new growth that's coming out. We're at about 70 degrees, new growth. Come on, focus, there we go. New growth, all this new growth that's coming out because it was shocked. This is the Fig Hunter Morning Star 724. And I mean, look at the growth of that thing. Crazy, 7 feet tall? What the heck? This is awesome. All right, so back to the story. I had this trench and I was like, I'm gonna separate these guys. What ended up happening is when I separated them, I neglected to think about the holes, the drainage holes. And this is, yeah, I'm an idiot. I know, you guys are like, whoa, you're a freaking idiot. You're like, yeah, I agree with you. So you can see the line that's right up here. Oh, hi, this is Dexter. Say hi to Dexter, everybody. Hi, Dexter. He is Dexter because he's a barn cat that we just got, barn kitty. And I need some help getting rid of these squirrels that come and eat all of my figs. Freaking fig squirrels. Huh, I am allergic to cats. So I take an antihistamine every time I come out so that I don't get sick with these guys. Well, hello, okay, hi. All right, distracted, I'm distracted. I need to focus. So the holes that are right here, these holes are where the roots came out, and the roots were following all the way over here. They were just going all over into the soil because that's where some of the water was going. And I had to cut the roots off to be able to pull the pots out. And I have the pots located in another area, which I'm gonna show you here in a second. Oh my gosh, Dexter, seriously. What are you doing? He's just climbing all over me. Okay, that's fine. Anyways, this is a black Madeira. Black Madeira, you better believe it, baby. Are you serious? Bella, get in here. All right, everybody, this is Bella. You better have gotten a squirrel up there. Bella's the black one, Dexter's the gray one. We wanted to name them awesome names so that they attack squirrels. I don't know if it'll work or not. But black Madeira, none of these are turning. They won't turn in time because we hit 40 degrees today at night, but hopefully I'll still get some fruit. This one is the Basilica Sitka. Basilica Sitka, I think is what it's called. And I had to double bag that because I had 3 other ripe ones right there, right there. I was waiting to pick them this morning and they're gone. Squirrels. That's why this Morning Star is so shocked, because it had really good root system going out of the pot. And hopefully this will turn into brown wood in the next couple weeks so that I can cut them and do other starts with it. I don't know if the Morning Star is a common fig, so don't quote me on it. I might still cut them up and try to sell them. I forgot, I think this one is the Strawberry Verte. Still haven't had a Strawberry Verte, but I have animals that keep eating it that are not cats. No, you didn't eat it. Okay, we're going to the back here. I'm gonna show you the other figs. Look at this, Italian 258. I planted it this spring. You can look at my other videos. It is 6 feet tall and it is like 6 feet in diameter. I had some ripe fruit. Again, damn squirrels got to it and ate the fruit, but maybe I'll get some ripe things. I don't know, we'll see. Nugget will be here soon. Dead tree, that sucks. Another dead tree was right here. So I used the lines that are already here to be able to water these other potted figs. Some of these guys are ripening, some of them are not. There's a Cadota right here. There's a Smith fig, and the Smith fig, there's the other problem. I mean, that's gonna be a really good start that I will take. This one also will be a relatively good start, but one main branch going 5.5 feet tall. Then this one is more of a brush-like tree. This is the UCR 18725. Look at how bushy it is. I had to put it at an angle so that it would grow vertically. Another problem with planting them so close together. So these ones didn't get shocked too much, but over here, this one, this is the Burgundy Unknown from Profig, and it's holding on. It's still surviving. Didn't get any fruit off of this guy, but man, as soon as I took and cut some of those roots out, it really shocked it. These other varieties, not so much. So some of them really dropped the roots out and some of them kept the roots inside there. This is the Lebanese Baca Valley, red Lebanese Baca Valley. There's teeny figs and they taste okay. And I am not buying into a lot of taste in their first year because they all taste basically the same to me. So hopefully they will start to get their different flavor profiles. I figure I will give them 3 years. I'm gonna give them 3 years in taste tests and determine which varieties I like the most and minimize it to 20. Currently I have about 60, and on the other side of the house, I have a lot more figs that I'm hand watering, and I'm gonna be shifting over into the drip system this winter because I wanna make things more simple when the garden's opened a little bit more. Right, Dexter? What are you doing, dude? All right, so anyways, some garlic chives. It's right there at the base of this 4-in-1 pluot. Some of these pluots are doing really good. Another thing that I'm changing, notice how yellow it is right there. I had Mark come over and he talked to me. I have some of these colors that are changing, but on my evergreens, they are looking more yellow like that, which means I need to put more iron. So he recommended a chelated iron to put in. So I'm gonna get chelated iron and place it in the soil because we have such alkaline soil. And I think that is why my apricot tree died. It was too alkaline for it. Same thing with the 2 pluots, the Dapple Supreme right here and Flavor Grenade. And now they're both dead. And so I need to, but the ones that are really established are really established. They're doing great. The ones that are new that I'm planting in the ground, not so much. So I'm thinking it might be just a pH balance so that they can take up the nutrition that they need. All right, so summary, don't plant your fig trees or your potted plants right next to each other in a row to make it cooler of an environment. I guess it's better that they live than they die, but if you leave them there too long and if you put soil around the pot, the roots will just come out and start going into the native soil. Kind of like you can see that right there. Look at that root that's coming out. And that is not very good. That just means that you'll shock them when you move them, or they might die if you move them. So don't do that. Keep them separate and place them on top. The other thing, if you have high winds, don't use just good draining soil like peat moss and perlite and all that, because if you do, it's going to make the pot too light and the tree will be heavier than the pot, and any amount of wind, like 5-mile-an-hour winds, will knock these things over. So I'd recommend taking some sand and mixing it in with it, and just to give it a little bit more weight. Unless you put a bunch of rocks at the very bottom, that would keep the weight balance just a little bit better and for good drainage. But sand is perfect soil because it's really good draining and it's not going to rot the roots, and it'll provide the weight needed for these pots. If you get into the bigger pots like the 5-gallon, I think these are 5-gallon, but 5-gallon wet, then I haven't had problems with those falling over as long as they're level. They have a bigger base. Maybe even go for a square base or a square pot. I think that's what I'm gonna move to next time. But these pots are so cheap, they're like 50 cents over at Star Nursery. All right, I'm rambling. Too much information, but don't plant them in a row. Don't plant them right next to each other, and don't plant them in the soil because the roots will go into the soil and you will shock them when you take them out. So I need to figure out a better way this next year to protect them during the heat of the summer. Maybe I should use shade cloth, but then the figs don't ripen very well. So at least the ones that I had earlier in the season, they just didn't really ripen because I had shade cloth over them and they were buried in the ground. So something else to try this next year. I hope you all enjoyed the video and got some good info, and also meeting Dexter and Bella. Say goodbye, Dexter. Bella's somewhere. I don't know where she is, but we'll find her. Oh, there she is. All right, have an excellent day.